So sometimes we're going to get questions that ask if something in particular is a factor. Now, if something is a factor, that would mean when I have 2d squared plus 6d minus 56, if it is a factor, then you would get d minus 4 as one of your factors. This is actually easier than if the question had said to begin with, can you factor this completely? Because factoring it completely, you have to work through all of your options. If it says check if this is a factor, then when I go to my second set of brackets, maybe I'll do them in a different color. Well, if this is my first, my last one's multiplied, and 6d is my outside and my inside together, then what would have to be here in order for those first ones to work out? It would have to be 2d. And if I need a minus 56, 4 times what is 56? 4 times 14 is 56. And if I need a minus 56, since I have a minus 4 here, this would have to be a plus there. Now, if it worked, we would have to check, because we would have to check, do the outside and the inside still make the 6? Because we know that d times 2d is 2d squared, and we know that minus 4 times 14 is minus 56. We made the blue one so that those two would match. But what we're wondering about, does the outside and the inside work to 6d? Because if it does, then we could say yes, it is a factor. If the outside and the inside don't work to be a 6d, then that would tell us no, it's not a factor. So we're going to check here. When I do d times 14, I'm going to get plus 14d. Negative 4 times 2 is going to be minus 8d. And when I simplify this, I get plus 6d in the middle, which is what it was to begin with. So we can say yes, it is a factor. So in some ways, these are easier than factoring questions because they gave us one thing already, and then it's really easy to find out if it were to work, what the next one has to be. So we're going to check in B. We're going to start with, again, what we're given. I'll do in green here, 3d squared plus 13d plus 4. And we want to check if d minus 4 is one of those factors. Well, if it is, what has to be in this bracket? Well, for our first ones to be 3d squared, can you see that this would have to be 3d? For our last one to be a positive 4, this one would have to be a positive 1. So see what I'm doing there? I'm just checking my first and my last ones. And then I'm going to do a check to see if it will work. Oh, I need 2 negatives. Thank you very much. Yes, it would have to be a negative 1 to make a positive 4. So I start with my first and my last. Now I'm going to do a check here to see if it actually multiplies out. We know that d times 3d will be 3d squared, and we know negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Now when I do my outside, I'm going to get negative d. Inside, I'm going to get negative 12d. And when I simplify that, I get 3d squared minus 13d plus 4. Is that what we had to begin with? No. We had a plus 13d. So in this case, we would say no. It is not a factor. So the ones you can do that are like this are numbers 7 and 8. We're not going to do them right now. We're going to go to example 2.